Alright, well, the horizontal engine put first today, largely because I spent so much time trying to get the vertical running that that horizontal was lower on fuel. Yeah, I'm actually pretty thrilled that when I got that rag stuck in that vertical, worked it out carefully, it's in good shape, seems to be running just fine. So kudos. I thought that especially all those brass valves there would be so, the brass valve gear would be fragile enough that it, or soft enough that a little bit of cloth would be enough to bend something that would make it really out of whack. But that is the nice thing about horizontal, or about hit and miss engines. They're very, very forgiving, partially because they're so simple. Yeah, had a fun day. Hope everybody else did too. And I'm gonna start doing the aftercare on these. So I guess hang around and carefully do all that. As I say, the horizontal engine just keeps running and running, which is always nice. This poor vertical engine, you know, gave it trouble for having issues early on, but the fact that it ate that rag and wants to keep going is kind of nice. And, you know, remembering early on that I had the compression issue with the horizontal because the sleeve wasn't set in it just exactly right, which is perfectly acceptable kind of error in a manufacturing process that produces these things at the price it does, because, you know, you can't complain at that price. And the fix was super easy, and I haven't had to do anything since I put that bit of thread around the piston sleeve to get it to sit a little bit proud so it would seal up. So, you know, for a fix that simple that, you know, anybody can do. So that's the other thing about these little toys, you know, like, they're definitely a good shortcut for anybody who's got a proper home shop and just wants to get them and monkey around with them and have something up on the shelf that they can pull out and futz about with. But they're also, you know, being complete and being in a situation like I am where I don't have a lot of tools or a shop or a lot of space to do anything, they're just a lot of fun. And they're definitely, you know, a good thing that I've missed. So I will. Oh, that hasn't moved. All right. Oh, I see. There's a tiny screw that holds these detent levers in. So maybe if I'm really in a mood, I'll pull that screw out and pull a detent lever off and see how fast this vertical will run, just for dumb entertainment sometime. Needless to say, any of the modifications are clearly against the manufacturer's recommendations, but nice thing about these little engines is they're, you know, easy enough to play with. And I'm gonna take my minute to, let's see, oh, I need my glass jar to drain the last drips of fuel in to save. Oh yeah. So the horizontal just had the bit of fuel that was in the fuel line, so it was definitely out. And the vertical was basically out too. Usually it won't run to the bottom of the tank like that because the tank doesn't sit, even after I moved the tank up, it doesn't sit quite as level with the mixer as the horizontal engine does, but just dump the water out on the ground there, and wipe up, wipe all this up a little bit. Tip that end and put that oil in around the back end of the cylinder there. There we go. Make sure it spreads in around the skirt. So yeah, I lubricate these up a little bit before I start them, and then after a run like this I oil them up again. A lot like model steam engine. Make sure there's plenty of oil so that they don't have any chance to, well, so you don't forget to oil them and end up with scoring and stuff, because it's a lot easier to keep the oil up than it is to re-hone anything and polish out scratches and stuff. So I did get that box glued together last week again on this horizontal, but I haven't put my little tacks in it to add some more structure, because those joints are butt joints, just square old flat joints, and that's why they came apart. But anyhow, let's see. The vertical engine, of course, because it's that wet sump, doesn't really need any after-run lubrication because the sump is wet. Although I do check the oil level, make sure it's not consuming too much, because this is going to consume oil, either by splashing it out the little vent or working it past the valve ring or out the journals here on the crankshaft bearing, because the crankshaft bearings are not super well sealed, but that's just the way that's going to work. So, all right, pull batteries out. The little fix I made when I first got these, the holder, the vibration would cause the middle battery to pop out, and then the engine would quit, obviously, because there was no more ignition. So my fix of using a hair tie to wrap on the battery holder is working just fine. Haven't had any issues since I started doing that. Yeah. Gotta say, these have been a lot of fun, and I'm glad I got a hold of them. Anyhow. Okay. Go get that fuel put away, and I usually let this sit for 5-10 minutes while I'm cleaning up, and that's enough to get the oil set up around the cylinder. But that is it for the day, and I'm gonna go inside and see how my Animal Crossing island is working.